Hi, my name's Alistair McNichol and I'm here in Stockport ahead of this weekend's Fringe Festival. If you want to know more, stick around and I'll show you. Hi, I'm here at 7 Miles Out with Joe and we're going to talk a bit more about Stockportoldtown's Fringe Festival. So what can you tell me about it?
Well, it's the first ever Stockportoldtown Fringe Festival this year. It's a 3-day event taking place from Friday the 29th of August to Sunday the 31st of August, and it's a celebration of everything creative in this part of the town. So it's music, street theatre, dance, food and drink, specialist retail, independence just in general.
Yeah.
So it's all those things sort of colliding really.
So Joe, can you tell me a bit more about the Fringe? What are you looking forward to the most?
So I'm looking forward to probably the Sunday the most, because that's when we've got most of the activity on. We've got street theatre from Piff Paff, who are bringing their Flycicle and Submersicle. We've also got Circus House coming with all acrobatics. We've got street theatre, street dance, the Morris men, break dancers. So on the Sunday it's going to be really hectic, but I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also really looking forward to the comedy on Saturday night, which is straight from the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. It's Vicky Stone. She's coming with her set, which apparently is fantastic, so I'm really looking forward to that.
So what can you tell me about the venue, 7 Miles Out?
So 7 Miles Out is, we sort of refer to it as a sort of creative social space. We created it basically because we thought there needed to be somewhere on the high street that could be used by the community, that you could do events in. So we've done comedy night, we've done music workshops, we run a number of sort of different things at the weekend, so people can pop in, they can learn about either events that happen in the town. They can meet us and we can talk to them about the town, which is what we do quite regularly, and it's just a space for the community. It's all to come together. And to meet with each other and socialise, and in a way it's sort of acted as a bit of a catalyst for the area in a way, and it's a community hub, and through our sort of work at 7 Miles Out, Robinson's, when all the pubs were closing down, we were when we put forward the Port's pilot video, when we did that 2 years ago, the thing that I said in there, obviously there needed to be a sort of art space, which is what we've created. But we needed to reverse the trend of pubs, clubs and restaurants in this area closing down. Yeah. And that was continuing to happen even when we came into space. But luckily our work, the fact that we've shown investment in the old town, I think a lot of other people are now seeing that as they want to be part of it. Yeah. And luckily Robinson's, after the Baker's Vaults closed last Christmas, Robinson's had a meeting with us. They came in here. And I think hopefully we convinced them to invest in the bakers, and they've gone with some of the guys, the team that run pubs in the Northern Quarter. Yeah. So that's really good, and we're now seeing venues popping up all over the old town, and the marketplace now is nearly at 100% occupancy.
So the Stockportoldtown brand, what is that?
The Stockportoldtown brand has come from our work on the Porter's Pilot Delivery Group, which basically we've got involved with since we've started working on different, providing different events and activities in this area of the town over the last 2-3 years. 3 years ago, in fact, we came to the Vintage Village and saw it for the first time. That's now an award-winning vintage market and has grown from, it's going from strength to strength. Yeah. And we were inspired by that, and we basically set up the teenage market off the back of that, and that's all about giving young people a free platform to be creative and to trade and to perform. And I'm hopeful, and it definitely is happening now. We've got art studios upstairs, so we've already got a few creatives and artists in residence almost here, and we hope that we'll get more in the coming months.
That's great. The final question. It's about the beer, Stockportoldtown beer. Can you tell me a bit more about?
Yeah, well, obviously Robinson's are a big stakeholder in the old town. Literally, their factory is just up the road where they brew all the beer, and as such, we want them to be a part of this whole sort of regeneration of the old town. And we went to Robinson's. They've been, for our events in the past, they've been really good, sponsoring the film festival and providing us with beer. But we went to them with the idea that we have a sort of limited edition Stockportoldtown ale. So they liked the idea, and luckily they managed to help sponsor the festival. So Robinson's now is a sort of supporter of the festival and all our flyers and all our billboards. And as such, we've got this limited edition line of Stockportoldtown ale, which is available to purchase within 7 miles out. So that came about through just having a word with Robinson's, really, and it's fantastic that they've come on board because they are such a big company, and we're all about independence. So it's that thing of trying to bridge the gap, between the two and work together. So it's really good. It's a great story, and hopefully lots of people will come and enjoy the Stockportoldtown Ale over the Fringe Festival.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
No problem.
If you want to find out more, why not come down and see and try some of this delicious beer. Next up, Charlotte Haslam is finding out more about Stockport's musical history.
Stockport has a large music heritage. I'm meeting Jean here outside the famous Strawberry Studios, where bands such as the Smiths, the Buzzcocks, Happy Mondays, the Stone Roses, as well as others, have recorded their music. Hi Jean, how are you? Good. So, what else can you tell us about the music history of Stockport?
Well, I can tell you we're standing in front of what was a very well-known club called the Tabernacle, the Fab Tab, as it was known in the 60s. And one of the great acts who played there, as well as the Kinks, the king of them all was Jimi Hendrix. And he played there, and I happen to know that the past mayor of Stockport met him in the Mersey Cafe. And because of that meeting, the mayor is hoping that whatever they build on that site is going to be called Hendrix House.
So, can you tell us where and when the Stockport Old Town Fringe Festival is taking place?
Well, it's taking place this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 29th and 30th of August. Stockport Rocks Musical starts at 2 o'clock and 7 miles out. It's free of charge and it's helping everybody make music.
Fantastic, brilliant. I'm sure it'll be absolutely brilliant. I hope so. Alright.
I'm now meeting with Brin, a local artist.
Hi, it's nice to see you. So this is one of your sculptures?
Yeah, this is sunflower sculpture. It's just been in an exhibition in Altrincham, open art exhibition, made specially for it because it was about flowers and light, so this fitted the bill quite well.
So that's the one you won the award for?
Yeah, it got the Visitor's Choice Award. That everyone voted for their favourite piece of work in it. So,
and it's easy to see why. I mean, it's a very creative and wonderful piece. How long will it take you to make a piece like this?
Something like this, probably about a week, purely because it's so many individual pieces. Each leaf has to be free-formed out of the tape and all the seeds. So it takes more time that because of so many individual pieces in it.
Can you tell me more about this sculpture trail that you're doing?
I'm doing the sculpture trail for the Stockport Fringe Festival, and the idea is to attract people who are just might not especially be coming to the trail, but will be going around the shops, and then they'll see some of the sculptures around the different parts of the town, and that'll be advertising that we're having the Fringe Festival. And then on the Sunday we're going to get all the sculptures together. I'm going to do some little workshops, just making some small sellotape sculptures with people, just to promote it and to promote the actual festival.
Can you show me some more of the sculptures?
Yeah, sure, I've got some upstairs.
Oh wow.
These are the sculptures that are already made, ready to go out for the festival over the weekend into different shops and all the businesses. So we tried to theme it on each business, all made out of sellotape, as you can see.
So what inspired you to use sellotape as a material?
As a sculptor and doing sculptures, you're always looking for something new to do. So I was messing about with some sellotape one day and wrapped it round, it was actually my son's hand, I wrapped it round my son's hand. Then when we cut it off, it actually stayed in shape for his hand. So that gave me the idea then that maybe we could do bigger sculptures with it.
Yeah.
So we started doing smaller ones, and then they got bigger to the full-size, life-size ones that we do now.
So you say each one's for an individual store. Can you talk me through this one?
Okay, so this one is going into Lord of the Pies. So when I was asked to put one into Lord of the Pies, first thing I thought of was Desperate Dan with his cow pie. So he hadn't made it with his cow pie and his big chin. He's even got his gun holster, so he's going to be sat outside Lord of the Pies. And what they find is a lot of the businesses also find that they attract people to come, because everyone wants to come and touch them. So it attracts people to the actual businesses, and they get quite a lot of attention when they're out.
Yeah. I know that in 7 Miles Out you've already had a few in there. Me and my brother went in the other day, and we just thought only in Stockport will we see such sculptures.
Yeah, well, it's quite good. I had a couple in 7 Miles Out that I'd had on in the art gallery, and I brought them down 7 Miles Out when we had an exhibition there and left them. And then the Stockport ukulele players was coming to play at one of the vintage market days.
Yeah.
So we decided I'd made the lamppost and someone leaning on the lamppost playing the ukulele.
Yeah.
The difference with that one, it actually moves, so his arm actually moves and his hat moves.
Oh, wow.
So that one will play the ukulele as the ukulele players were playing along.
Yeah.
So that got quite a bit of attention as well.
What can you tell me about this laid back?
Okay, the idea with this one is Richer Sounds actually sponsored me with some sellotape. They had a load of boxes of sellotape left over, and they actually wanted one to go outside their shop. So what they have is big televisions in the window.
Yeah.
So the idea is he's going to sit outside the window with his feet resting on the window ledge, watching the television through the window. So he's got his remote control, he'll have a cup of tea in his hand. Just got to get a nice hat for him. So he's going to go outside Richer Sounds. So I thought that was quite apt for someone to sit outside. Mainly get the idea of where it's going, and then try and do something that will adapt for that premises or exhibition, whichever they're going into.
And of course we can't ignore the big Jimi Hendrix. Can you tell me more about this wonderful sculpture?
Okay, so the Jimi Hendrix come into play because one of them was going into the music shop, and so we wanted something musical, and the fact that Jimi Hendrix actually played twice in Stockport, and Jonathan 7 Miles Out made the suggestion, why don't you do a Jimi Hendrix, as if it was just that easy. So I said, well, we'll give it a go, and so this one come on. First time I've done the bigger hair, and his bandana, even a little moustache. So yeah, and the good thing is most people who see it recognise it straight away as Jimi Hendrix.
Of course, yeah.
So that's really good. And this will be going into the Baker's Vaults after the festival, because they've asked for some musical themed ones.
Yeah.
So we're going to do Jimi Hendrix, and hopefully is Jimi Hendrix's drummer, so we're going to do a set of drums with a drummer on it.
That would be very...
Yeah, so we'll see how it comes out. I've not done one before.
No. What else is going to happen with the rest of the sculptures after the festival?
Well, I've got another open outdoor sculpture exhibition. It's in Kelsall, a place called Mount Pleasant Gardens. It's where the very first had some sculptures shown in an exhibition. So some of them will be going down into there. They might not be in the guise that they are now, because I want to do a man with a wheelbarrow because it's the gardens. So some of them might be adapted. Jimi Hendrix will stay the same. The problem I have usually is getting them back off the premises or the businesses that I've put them, because they usually ask if they can keep them because of the publicity. Yeah. So it all depends on whether they want to buy them and keep them on them premises or not.
Oh well, this is another wonderful piece.
Yeah, this is one when I was talking about ones that have dual personalities.
Yeah.
This one's one that's going to go outside the baker's vault, so it's going to have a pint glass in his hand, the Stockportoldtown bottle of beer, and put the label on.
Yeah.
And he'll be sat outside. We're going to put him on the bench because then people will be able to come and have the pictures took next to him. So that's the idea behind it. But also, what the Baker's Vaults wanted was something to go with the Jimi Hendrix one. And the suggestion was we'd do Jimi Hendrix's drummer playing a set of drum kits. And Jimi Hendrix's drummer had really big hair, so that's what I've tried to do here. I've just got to be careful it don't get too heavy that his head falls down, but it's worked okay. So he's going to have a little bit more hair, and then after the festival I'll take the arms off, change the arms, and actually make his arms straight so they'll be playing the drums. If I can make a drum kit, that's the idea behind this one. And again, it's one of that you actually change round. It should look quite good when it's done.
It's looking pretty impressive already.